My name is John. I'm from Alabama. We were vacating up in North Carolina in 2021. I had a cabin rented on top of a mountain. Get back in the boonies. That's what we wanted to do. We got there on Friday morning. Everything unloaded, checked out around the cabin and everything, and decided we'd go in Cherokee and maybe Bryson City and do a little sightseeing or whatever. So we left for the day, went to Cherokee, hopped around, went up into the Smokies a little bit, and over a few sites and a few overlooks, and came back down to the village and watched the elk till about dark. Come on back to the cabin, and it was getting pretty late. It was around 10. She was a little bit hungry. I was kind of hungry, so she went into the kitchen, told her a grilled cheese would be fine. I went back into the living room in there by the fireplace, sit down, and it wasn't just a few minutes. She heard something on the porch outside. Called me back in the kitchen, so I went back into the kitchen and looked out the window right there by the sink, and I couldn't see anything. I went back in the living room, was watching the late news, and here she comes in there. There's something on the porch, she said. All right. I looked out the window again, didn't see anything. About that time, we heard something knocked over, something big, sounded like it fell over. Well, I figured, well, it's either a coon or a varmint or a deer or something that got on the porch. We went on back in the living room, and just a few more minutes, we heard the boards cracking on the porch. Well, there's a night light out on the pole in the yard up the driveway that shines directly onto the porch. And about that time, we heard these deep grunts. Deep grunts. They come into the window, both scared. I didn't know what it was. It come right into the window and stood there. And it had huge shoulders, long head with no neck, big muscular arms, and they had to be over, I would say, 7 foot tall because it bent down to look into the window. Now I'm 6 foot, and if the top of the window was above my head. So we were just standing there, didn't know what to do. He was scared. I done got scared. I didn't know, experienced anything like this in my life. Gun, which was my pistol and my cell phone, were on the lampstand right there next to the couch, right in front of the window. So the lamp on the table shone right into his face, plus the outside light was shining on its back. It had orange glow in its eyes, and it stood there. The first thought come to my mind was pick the phone up and get a picture. My better conscience overrode that. I picked my pistol up. But when I picked my gun up and leave, it stood there. The look on its face was, I don't know, it looked like it was looking into our minds. It was just a weird look. The expressions on his face, couldn't tell if it meant any harm to us or what, but it scared us to death. It wasn't just I don't know, about a minute or two, it went on up the mountain. Well, she panicked and cut every light on in the cabin, and sure, all the doors were locked. We were really upset. We didn't get any sleep that Friday night. We're out to boot. This morning, daybreak, I went out on the porch and saw that it had come a shower, and there's a big old flower vase that was turned over on the porch. I mean, a big one. Looked around for footprints or any other sign and didn't see anything. It was a rock garden, outcropping all the way around the cabin, except down the drive that come up the mountain. Couldn't tell if there's any tracks out there or not. But she didn't want to cook any breakfast. We decided best thing for us to do was just leave, so went into Cherokee and got a motel room. That look on his face that I saw, I don't care to see that again. 75 years old, I've been around quite a while. Never been that scared in my life. It's a serious situation when you get like that. Anyway, it was an adventurous night, I guess you could call it. Anyway, that happened in 2021, and we haven't been back to that cabin. So I think I would like to go back though, at least one more time with a bigger weapon or something. I don't know, pretty scary. It's my encounter story. So I thank Brandon for letting me come on here.